Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. First and foremost, I would like to extend my gratitude to the leadership of Bangsamoro Human Rights Commission for inviting me to give a lecture in this very important topic in order to promote women's rights in the celebration our Women's Month this March. Ako po, ang inyong lingkod, Attorney Isnaira Ibrahim. No, ako po ay naatasan. I was requested to give a lecture regarding Republic Act number 9262. Napaka-importante po ng batas na ito dahil marami sa atin, no, ang yung iba hindi pa aware, and para naman doon po sa ating mga audience na nakakaalam na, maybe you take it as a refresher, no, refresher on your part para maalala ninyo ang tungkol sa napaka-importanting batas na ito. So, ano po ang Republic Act number 9262? Etong batas na to, it's not so old, no? Kasi ito ay aprobado noong March 8, 2004. So, ang pamagat po ng batas na ito is an act defining violence against women and their children, providing for protective measure for victims, prescribing penalties therefore, and for other purposes. So, masyadong mahaba. Para matandaan nyo po, eto lang po. Ito ay Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004. At para mas short pa, at matandaan nyo pa talaga, VAUC. Okay, so VAUC. Violence Against Women and Children. Okay? So, ano po ang ibig sabihin ng violence against women and their children under Republic Act number 9262. It refers to any act or series of acts committed by any person against a woman who is his wife, former wife, or against a woman with whom the person has or had a sexual or dating relationship, or with whom he has a common child, or against her child, whether legitimate or illegitimate, within or without the family abode, which result in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, psychological harm or suffering, or economic abuse, including threats of such acts, battery, assault, coercion, harassment, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty. Okay, so ang gusto natin, no, matandaan ng ating mga viewers ang napaka-importanting batas na to. So, ang haba ng binasa ko about what is VAUC. Okay, so, para matandaan nyo po ng maigi, no? Kasi hindi lahat ng forms of physical abuse na committed ng lalaki, VAUC na kaagad yon. Okay, hindi po ganun yon. So, remember this. Who are the persons protected by RA 9262? Okay, so here are the following persons who are protected. Number 1, yung wife. So, referring to asawa, kaluma, in Maguindanao pa. Or, former wife, kung yung kasal nila ay napawalang bisa, nagkaroon ng divorce, no? Former wife. So, protected po siya under RA 9262. And then, a woman with whom the offender has or had sexual or dating relationship with. Okay? So, nagkaroon sila ng sexual na relasyon. Pagdating naman dun sa definition ng dating relationship, eto yung mga scenario, eto yung mga circumstance na kung saan, no, yung dalawang party, babae at saka lalaki, nagsama sila sa isang bubong as husband and wife, pero walang kasal. So, yun yung dating relationship. In other words, no, para sa kaalaman ng marami, yun yung live-in relationship or common law relationship pa para dun sa ating mga law student na nakakaalam nun. Common law relationship. Okay? Then, another person protected by RA 9262 is a woman with whom the offender has a common child. So, yung babae, kung saan, yung offender, yung violator, ay meron siyang, nagkaanak siya doon. Okay? And then, yung mga legitimate or illegitimate child of the woman within or without the family abode. Ibig sabihin, anak niya pwedeng nakatira doon sa sarili nilang pamamahay or wala doon sa loob ng kanilang pamamahay. So yun po, yung mga taong, yung mga kababaihan na protektado sa batas na ito. Okay? So, makikita nyo po na ang napaka-importanting elemento ng krimen na to, yung violation ng rights ng women or ng kanyang anak under RA 9262, ang pinaka-importanting elemento doon is yung element of relationship. Okay? So, pag wala yung relationship na yan, na nasabi ko, wala pong vowsy. Okay? It can be another crime under the revised penal code. Okay, so violence against women and children. Ano po yung mga violence na covered nito? We have identified 4. Okay, so ito ay physical violence. Pangalawa, sexual violence. Pangatlo is psychological violence. And then ang panghuli, economic abuse. Okay, i-explain natin siya ng isa-isa. Ang physical violence is referring to any bodily harm. Okay? So, bodily harm. Ibig sabihin, sasaktan mo yung physical na katawan ng babae. Example na lang, bubugbugin mo, sasampalin mo, okay? Susunugin mo, di ba? Gagawin mong ashtray yung katawan para dun sa mga sadista, di ba? Naninigarilyo, mainit ang ulo, so pinaso yung katawan ng babae. Yan po ay physical abuse. Okay? Then, moving on, we have sexual violence. Sa sexual violence, ang example po nito, no? Paumanhin doon sa medyo mga sensitive na masasabi ko, no? Pero sa sexual violence, okay? Ang example na lang po ang ating ibibigay. Rape, okay? Sexual harassment, okay? Another thing, yun bang beyond his consent, wala siyang consent, no? Pipilitin mo siyang manood ng mga pornography, mga obscene materials, bawal po yan. It's sexual violence. Yun po bang pipilitin mo siyang, or ibubugaw mo siya, isasama mo siya, or ipapa-engage mo siya into prostitution. Okay? That's sexual violence. Okay? Then another thing, we have psychological violence. Okay, ang pinaka-famous, di ba? Para dun sa may mga third party. In other words, yung merong mga kabit. Paano kung si wife? Di ba? Dahil dun sa ginawa ni husband na meron siyang kalaguyo and nagkaroon siya ng trauma, nagkaroon siya ng emotional distress, anxiety, and all. Umiiyak siya every night, every day. Pagpunta ng office, umiiyak siya. Wala na siyang ibang ginawa kundi umiiyak. So, nag-develop siya ng depression. Oh, that's a form of psychological violence. Diba? So, ibig sabihin, eto kasi, yung psychological violence is a state of mind, no? So, kailangan natin ang aid ng mga psychiatrists, diba? Psychologists, para ma-interpret or para mabigyan ng treatment yung ganitong trato sa ating women victims. Okay? So, yan po yung psychological violence. Okay? So, ang tina-target niya is yung emotional distress, psychological distress, anxiety, no? Yan po. Yan po ang psychological violence. And then economic abuse. Okay? So remember, kapag tayo ay may asawa, tayo ay pumasok sa relasyon, diba? Meron po tayong obligasyon na magbigay ng financial support, hindi lang love. Hindi tayo mabubuhay sa loving-loving lang. Okay? So kailangan meron tayong financial support. Okay? Doon po sa ating financial support, kung yung babae ni-require ni husband, no, or nung kanyang partner na magstay ka lang in your house. So, syempre, do not expect na meron siyang kikitain, di ba? So, ang mag-provide dapat si husband. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng from time to time na nanghingi si wife, sasabihin ni husband, ano ka ba? Wala kang pakinabang. Di ba? Obligasyon niya. Now, kapag hindi ginawa yung obligasyon na to, it's an economic abuse. Okay? Now, allow me to share to you a little story. No? Meron kasi akong na-handle na case. So, ang nangyari is ganito. Si husband, nung nagkaroon na siya ng bagong wife, inabandon na yung kanyang naunang asawa. Doon sa naunang asawa, meron siyang maliliit na anak. And don't you know that napaka-sakit nung experience ng first wife? Kasi, dumidede pa sa bote, no? Bottled milk, no? Yung mga anak. Tapos napilitan na lang ipahinto ni first wife, yung kanyang anak na dumede. So ang ginawa niya, pinutol niya yung nipple ng beberon, ng bottle, para hindi na magdede. So napakasakit yun sa part ng mother. Okay? So hindi lang yon economic abuse dahil inabando na, walang sustento, no? Meron ding kaukulang psychological violence na nagawa dun sa wife at dun sa kanyang mga anak. Okay? So, hindi naman problema sa Islam yung mag-asawa ng panibago hanggang 4, si husband. Kaya lang, dapat hindi niya i-abandon na yung mga naunang pamilya and especially the kids. Okay? So, wala pang kakayahan yung kanyang mga anak na masustain yung kanilang needs. Okay? So, yun po. So, kinasuhan siya ngayon ni Mrs. Okay? So, alhamdulillah, nanalo si Mrs. at hindi naman natanggal sa serbisyo pero bumaba yung rangko nung tao. Okay? So, ganun yung consequence na kailangan wala tayong pag-abuso na gagawin sa ating mga asawa, karelasyon, no, girlfriend man yan, no? Kasi po, ang batas sinisigurado na ang lahat ng mapapatunayang nag-violate ng batas na to, merong karampatang penalty. Okay? So, that's it for the violence, no? The 4 violence or abuses committed under Republic Act 9262. Moving on. Yung iba kasi nagtatanong, bakit puro babae lang, no? Ang pinuprotektahan. Pwede ba na maging ano tawag dito? Yung vowsy ba committed by men alone? So, lalaki lang ba ang pwedeng mapatunayan na guilty or magkasala sa batas na to? So, under RA 9262, women can also be liable under the law. These are yung cases ng women na lesbian, partners, girlfriends, or former partners of the victim with whom she has or had a sexual or dating relationship. Okay, so hindi lang pala lalaki yung pwedeng maging violator. Pwede rin ang babae na nasa lesbian, sabihin na natin. Okay? So, with all due respect, dun sa mga hindi gumagawa ng violation under RA 9262. So, again hindi lang po lalaki ang pwedeng maging violator. Pwede rin po yung mga babae sa case ng mga lesbian na na gagawa ng pang-abuso doon sa kanilang female partner or girlfriends. Okay, so what can women and children do under RA 9262? What if nandun ka na sa sitwasyon na merong pag-abuso? Under the law, the offended party may file criminal action or apply for a protection order, either as an independent action or as an incident of a civil action or criminal action and other remedies. Kung yung offender, yung nagkasala, nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno, so pwede rin merong administrative case na ma-file sa kanya for violation of 9262. It's a grave misconduct or pwede rin ma-fall as conduct unbecoming of a government official. Okay? So, obligado po tayo na bantayan at protektahan ang ating mga pamilya. Okay? Kasama po yan sa ating code of conduct na dapat i-ensure, especially ng taong ng mga employees na nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno. Okay? Who may file a complaint under RA 9262? Any citizen having personal knowledge of the circumstances involving the commission of the crime may file a complaint because violence against women and their children is considered a public crime. Okay, so dapat dito gawin, di ipakinabangan ng ating mga marites. Di ba? So, ang 9262, violation ng RA 9262 is not a private crime. Hindi lang siya usaping pamilya. Diba? Yung sabi nila, it's a domestic problem. Dapat we leave it to them. Mamatay na yung babae sa kakabugbog, walang nakikialam. No. Diba? Under this law, ang violation ng 9262 is a public crime. Ano ang implication nun pag public crime ka? Any citizen having personal knowledge of yung violation can file an action for a complaint for violation of RA 9262. Wala na po, it's an old pang-old school na, yung sasabihin na natin, wag natin silang pakialaman kasi away pamilya yon. Namamatay na yung babae sa kakabugbog, 'di ba? Napuno na siya ng black eye, ng pasa sa katawan, hindi pa rin tayo mag-intervene. Okay? So, kailangan may puso tayo. Kailangan tulungan natin yung mga kababaihan na naagrabyado po. Kasi, because of this concept that RA 9262 is a public crime. Okay? So, what are the penalties for committing vowsy? Oh, eto na. No? So, dapat, para dun sa ating mga kalalakihan and yung may mga karelasyon na babae, pakinggan po natin ito. Offenders proven in court to be guilty of the crime shall be penalized with imprisonment ranging from 1 month and 1 day to 20 years. Payment of 100,000 pesos to 300,000 pesos in damages and mandatory psychological counseling or psychiatric treatment. Okay, so napakabigat ng penalty at napakalaki ng fine, yung danyos. Okay? So, nakalagay po sa batas sa ating revised penal code na every person criminally liable is also civilly liable. And, idadagdag ko pa, pwede rin siyang maging liable administratively, no? Pwede siyang kasuhan in different disciplinary agency ng gobyerno para siya ay matanggal sa serbisyo. Okay? Lahat yun po pwede. So, ibig sabihin, pwede siyang maging liable administratively, civilly, at criminally. Okay? So, wala kang takas. Okay? Okay. So, I have mentioned earlier about what can the women or the children do kapag merong violation. Okay? I mentioned about the word protection orders. So, meron po tayong tatlong klase ng protection orders. Unang-una, barangay protection orders, temporary protection orders, and permanent protection order. Ang barangay protection order, ito po ay naglalas ng 15 days. Ano po ang concept natin sa protection order. Ito, ang protection order is an immediate remedy para po ma-stop yung pag-abuso, para hindi makakontinue sa pag-abuso yung offender. Okay? So, ang pinakamabilis at pinakamalapit na takbuhan ng isang offender, ng isang biktima, babae man yan o yung kanyang anak, ang pinakamalapit is barangay. Okay? So, pwede po, meron pong pro-forma tayo na form, ng application form for issuance ng BPO, Barangay Protection Order. In writing po yan, under oath, at dapat verified siya, and yun nga po, ito ay nakasubscribe ng notary publiko. Okay? So, 15 days po. Kapag may violation, pumunta po tayo sa malapit na barangay kung saan po tayo naka-residente. Then, humingi po tayo ng tulong para sa issuance ng BPO. So, kapag meron tayong BPO, yung mga barangay officials, hindi nila hahayaan na mapalapit yung offender doon sa biktima. 'Di ba? So, hindi siya makakalapit doon. So, it's an immediate relief, no? Na hindi na siya maaabuso after that. But yan lang po, good for 15 days lang siya. Okay? Then we have temporary protection order. So sa court naman natin ito fina-file. Okay? And it will last for 30 days. Okay? And then we also have yung permanent protection order. Mas matagal po ito kasi permanente. So kailangan may mag-assist po na abogado sa biktima kasi po kailangan ng notice of hearing. Okay, so don't worry, marami po tayong mga legal aid program na pwede pong makatulong, and then ang PAW na pwedeng makatulong para sa legal assistance na ito. Okay, so tandaan po, pag merong pag-abuso, pumunta po tayo sa pinakamalapit na barangay official nyo or sa barangay hall ninyo para mag-apply po kayo ng BPO. Okay? So, kung ang malapit sa inyo or mas kampante kayo, didiretso kayo ng police station, okay din po ito. Okay? So, kaya lang, under the law, si barangay ang may authority to issue the BPO. Okay, so sino ang pwedeng mag-file nung petition for protection orders? Number 1, ang ating offended party. So, yun na yung biktima. Pangalawa, magulang or guardian ng offended party, kung minor man yan, or wala siya sa tamang pag-iisip. So, may guardian yan siya. Then, the ascendants, descendants, or collateral relatives within the 4th civil degree of consanguinity or affinity. Yung mga kamag-anak up to the 4th civil degree of affinity or consanguinity, pwede pong mag-file ng issuance ng protection order. Then, we also allow yung officers of social workers of the DSWD or MSSD kung sa atin pa sa BARM, MSSD po, para mag-file nung protection order. Then we have police officers, preferably those in charge of the women and children's desk. So, WCPD. Okay, so bawat stasyon po ng police, meron po tayong nakalagay dyan na WCPD, Women and Children's Desk. Okay? So, punong barangay or barangay kagawad, lawyer, counselor, therapist, or healthcare provider of the petitioner, or, eto pa po, at least 2 concerned responsible citizen of the city or municipality where the violence against women and their children occurred and who has personal knowledge of the offense committed. So, eto, lagyan natin ng dating yung mga marites. So, instead na kung ano-ano lang ang ating imarites, eto po ang gawin natin para makatulong sa kababaihan. Be a complainant or be a petitioner in that petition for protection order. Okay? So, at least, makakapagkawang-gawa po tayo. Okay. May mga instances po, 'di ba, na yung asawa, dating asawa or karelasyon, dahil sa patuloy na pag-aabuso sa kanya, physical man yan, sexual man yan, psychological man yan, nag-develop siya ng battered woman syndrome. Okay, supposing, nung one time, no, binugbog siya nung asawa niya. Okay, binugbog siya ng asawa niya. At napatay niya yung asawa niya. Yung pang-aabuso sa kanya, tumagal yan ng 10 taon. Tapos, nung one time, no, after 10 years, hindi na niya makaya yung physical, yung emotional na burden sa kanya. Psychological pa. Diba? So, napatay niya yung asawa niya. Pagdating ng araw, at siya ay isasalang, no? Ililitis. Isasalang sa paglilitis. Yan po ang babae na yan na merong battered woman syndrome, wala po siyang magiging liability. So, mai-exempt po siya, in-exempt po siya ng batas pagdating sa civil and criminal liability. So, ganun po ka-powerful. Kasi po, ang nakita ng batas is, dahil dun sa pag-abuso, napilitan na lang siyang idepensa na yung kanyang sarili. Okay? So, ang tawag po doon is battered woman syndrome. So, mapapawalang sala siya. Okay? Alhamdulillah. Okay. So, let us test. No? Magkakaroon tayo ng little exercises para masigurado natin na kayo ay nakinig. Okay? So, hopefully, no, okay lang kayo. And sagutin po natin yan. Hindi ako makakabigay ng prizes, but you know, the prize is yung learning na makukuha nyo from this lecture. Okay, so we will start. Ganito po ang problem. I am a lesbian and I have been in an abusive relationship with another woman. So, woman to woman. So, magkasama na sila since 2019. Can I file a case against her under 9262 even though she is a woman? So, anong sagot? Na-mention ko po yun. Ang violator or ang offender under RA 9262 is hindi lang po lalaki. Pwede rin babae. Okay? So, tama po kayo. Okay? So, palakpakan natin ang inyong mga sarili. Okay. Another question. My husband had been cheating on me for over 3 years with various women. Oh, so marami palang cheater pala. Okay? So, is there a way I can apply for violence against women in filing a case against him? Of course, we can. Diba? I have discussed to you what is psychological violence. So, eto na. Dahil nag-cheat siya, nangaliwa siya, okay, and then nagkaroon ka ng emotional problem, distress, anxiety, and all. So, pwede mo siyang kasuhan ng violence against women. Okay? So, you are learning. So, congratulations. Another. Okay? My ex-husband has stopped giving me and our daughter financial support. So, since 2019, before the pandemic, hindi na siya nagbibigay ng financial support. Can I file a case against him for vow? Again, tama po kayo. Okay? Because it constitutes economic abuse. Diba? Yung pag-abandona, yung hindi pagbibigay ng suporta, it's an economic abuse. Next question. My husband has been hurting me every time we fight and even threatens to kill me. Can I file a case against him for violence against women? Ano po ang sagot? Sinasaktan ka physically, tinatakot ka pa. Oh, so dalawa yun, ha? Una, physical violence. Pangalawa, intimidation, it's psychological violence. Okay? So, kung sinong nakakuha ng tamang sagot, congratulations. Okay, ito. Makisig is the husband of Marikit. He has been mentally, verbally, and emotionally abused by marikit. Can he file a case against his wife using vow? O, kakaiba ito ha. Si lalaki ang binubugbog, sinasabihan ng mga hindi magagandang salita. Siya naman yung na-stress, yung husband naman ang na-stress. Pwede ba siyang mag-file ng kaso under vow? Under RA 9262? Okay? Okay? Hindi po. Okay. Bakit yon? Remember, I have shared to you who are the persons protected under RA 9262. So, hindi po kasama yung lalaki. Okay, so ano naman ang gagawin ni husband? Eh, kawawa naman siya. So, possible po, no? He can file a case against the wife for violation of, kung binubugbog siya ng asawa niya, pwede naman under the revised penal code, physical injuries, di ba? So, and many more, but definitely not under RA 9262. Okay, so I hope I am making myself clear with that, and sa inyo din, klarong-klaro. Okay, isang scenario. I have been running and hiding in fear from my husband for 3 months because he threatened to kill me. What can I do? So, nagtatago ka na, takbo ka ng takbo, palipat-lipat ka na ng tirahan, dahil tinatakot ka ng asawa mo na papatayin ka. Anong pwede mong gawin? Remember, I told you about protection orders. Okay? So, pwede po nating i-avail yung tatlong protection orders na yan. Mamili po tayo. But ang pinakamalapit sa inyo is yung barangay. So, you apply for the barangay protection orders. Okay. So, yun po ang kabuuan ng aking lecture. So, before I leave, I want you to remember this one. Okay? So, according to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, only an honorable man treats women with honor and integrity. And only a vile and dishonorable man humiliates and degrades a woman. So who are you? Are you an honorable man or a vile man? Maraming salamat po. That ends my lecture.